Good morning and a very warm welcome to today's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne for the Newsfirst team. As always, we're ready to bring to you the details on this morning's top local, international and sports news items. So do stay tuned with us for the news in detail. Well, today is the 5th of June, the World Environment Day. The world unites to celebrate the World Environment Day under the timely and urgent theme, Beat Plastic Pollution. Established in 1972 following the United Nations Conference on Human Environment held in Stockholm, Sweden, this annual observance aims to raise public awareness about environmental conservation and draw the attention of world leaders and policymakers to pressing global environmental challenges. The very first World Environment Day was commemorated in 1973. Today marks the 53rd anniversary of this globally significant event. We now find ourselves in an era marked by severe environmental threats such as pollution, ocean degradation, deforestation, and the endangerment of wildlife. Despite numerous promises to safeguard the planet, many developed nations still fall short in turning commitments into tangible actions. Problems such as solid waste mismanagement, air pollution and the lack of sustainable environmental policies remain unresolved in many parts of our world. Environmentalists warn that these issues cannot be addressed by mere pledges or observing a single day that is dedicated to nature. Genuine, ongoing efforts are required. Furthermore, global accords such as the International Convention on Climate Change, the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, the Convention on Wetlands, and the World Heritage Convention are currently in effect. However, experts argue that these arrangements often serve more as a symbolic consensus rather than reflecting a genuine collective will to protect the environment that we all share. At this critical juncture, where natural resources and wildlife are facing existential threats, environmental scientists stress that conservation must not be delayed or delegated. Instead of waiting for others to act, each individual has a moral responsibility of protecting this planet that we live in, the very foundation of life for all beings. Well, as we mark the World Environment Day 2025, let this be a call to action, not just to celebrate nature, but to actively defend it. With that, let's move on to some related local news as well. A new initiative aimed at preserving the cleanliness of coastal areas near tourist hotels has been launched, appointing designated coastal stewards responsible for maintaining beach environments. This program was officially inaugurated yesterday morning at the Hambantota Divisional Secretariat premises. This effort is a collaborative effort between the Marine Environment Protection Authority, which we also call MIPA, and nearby tourist hotels. A memorandum of understanding was signed between the two parties in order to facilitate this new partnership. Under the initiative, a local resident will be appointed as the steward for each hotel-associated coastal stretch. These individuals will be paid a stipend for their service in maintaining the cleanliness and environmental quality of the surrounding area. Implemented under the Clean Sri Lanka program, the project operates across the public, private and community sectors and follows the theme, A Beautiful Coastline, Attractive Destination. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka's National Environmental Day is scheduled to be celebrated this morning in the city of Kegol under the patronage of Sri Lanka's President Anura Kumara Dissanayake. This year's national theme is Let It Sprout, aligning with the global observance of the World Environment Day. In conjunction with the international celebration, Sri Lanka also launched a dedicated Environmental Week, during which various awareness campaigns, community activities, as well as conservation projects were carried out across the island. On to more local news now. the Ministry of Health has clarified that there is no current need to mandate mask wearing within office premises across public institutions. This statement was made in response to a circular that was issued by the Deputy Chief Secretary of the Western Province, which had advised heads of institutions to implement mask-wearing protocols. In an official communication, Dr. Anil Jasinghe, Secretary to the Ministry of Health, responded to this circular by requesting that such guidance be reconsidered. Dr. Jasinghe emphasized that there is no requirement at present to issue general instructions mandating the use of face masks in public sector workplaces. He further explained that following the official end of the COVID-19 global pandemic in mid-2023, the disease had since been categorized alongside other respiratory infections under surveillance and control programs. The letter also notes that while respiratory illnesses such as influenza tend to increase during the rainy season, and with that comes a potential resurgence of COVID-19 cases, such conditions should be managed and prevented through standard public health practices rather than broad mandates. Now, the Ministry of Finance has announced the initiation of a new legislative framework aimed at improving the performance and accountability of state-owned enterprises in Sri Lanka. According to Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Surya Peruma, the proposed legislation will provide a clear legal structure to ensure that SOEs can contribute to the national economy in an efficient as well as productive manner. Dr. Surya Peruma stated that one of the major reasons for the inefficiency and poor quality of services in state enterprises has been the lack of a proper legal framework under the previous governments. He further emphasized that once the new act is passed, it will enable SOEs to operate profitably, procure goods at fair and transparent prices, purchase goods without shortages, and source products from suppliers across the island. As Poson Poya this year approaches, health authorities in Sri Lanka are urging the general public to exercise special caution when organizing Dansal in line with the upcoming Poson Poya Day. The Public Health Inspectors Association of Sri Lanka has requested the public to be particularly mindful about water quality that is used for food preparation, as the recent heavy rains have contaminated many natural water sources across the island. In addition, this association advises organizers to avoid creating large gatherings, citing the risk of spreading various illnesses that are currently circulating within the society. And finally, on to your weather forecast for today. The Met Department says that several spells of showers will occur in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Uva and eastern provinces and in the Polonnaruwa district during the afternoon or night. Fairly strong winds of about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills and in the northern, north central, northwestern and southern provinces, as well as in the Trincomalee district. As always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. With that, we move on to news overseas for this morning. This is definitely a headline-making international news item coming in from the United States. Trump has signed a travel ban on travel to the US from 12 countries: Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan and Yemen. There are an additional 7 countries whose nationals face partial travel bans as well: Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, as well as Venezuela. The White House says these common sense restrictions, quote unquote, will protect Americans from dangerous foreign actors. Now, this proclamation is the second time Trump has ordered a ban on travel from certain countries. He signed a similar order in 2017 during his first administration. Let's take a look at what President Trump had to say.
Today, I am signing a new executive order placing travel restrictions on countries including Yemen, Somalia, Haiti, Libya, and numerous others. The strength of the restrictions we're applying depends on the severity of the threat posed. The list is subject to revision based on whether material improvements are made, and likewise, new countries can be added as threats emerge around the world.
And finally, on to your sports news this morning. Bangladesh has announced a 16-member squad for their upcoming test series against Sri Lanka, scheduled to begin later this month. The series will be played as part of the 2025-2027 ICC World Test Championship cycle. The Bangladesh team will be led by Najmul Hossain Shanto, who continues his role as the test captain. Key players named in the squad include Liton Das, Hassan Murad, Mominul Haq, Mushfiqur Rahim, Mehdi Hassan Miraz and Shekhar Ali. A notable inclusion in the squad is fast bowler Ibadat Hassan, who returns to test side after nearly 2 years out due to injury as well as recovery. The series will consist of 2 test matches. The first test will be held at the Galle International Cricket Stadium from the 17th of June to the 21st, and the second test will take place at the SSC grounds in Colombo from the 25th to the 29th of June. And that is a wrap of this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. Do join us tomorrow as well, same time, same place, for more of the very latest from here at home and around the world. Take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.